Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Community Distance Reiki. It's wonderful to see you all. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and if you're not, you're in the right place. We're all going to get through this together. So if you are new here, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're watching on the replay, you're going to have just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. But if you would like to join me live, go ahead and check out that description box below. All my regular days and times for streaming 5 times a week here on YouTube are listed there. And you can go ahead and subscribe with notifications on so you'll know about any pop-up or surprise streams that I do. If you want to learn more about my online live Reiki certification classes, community Discord, crystal shop, or social media, all of that's listed below as well. So thank you for being here. If you are here live, go ahead and click that live chat button, and you can go ahead and pop into the chat and make any requests that you like for your personal healing, anything that you feel comfortable sharing in such a big open venue. And we're going to start off by building a beautiful crystal grid together. We'll do that for about 45 minutes, maybe up to an hour. It's been going lately. And then after that, we'll transition into just sending you some beautiful Reiki with a beautiful crystal grid with some incredible music in the background. If you would like to if you're watching this on the replay, hi, from the from the past, go ahead and either click the chapter mark or slide ahead to where you see the lights begin to shift. And thank you all for being here. Let's go ahead and see everybody that's here say our hellos. And I have the crystal grid with a little bit of an anchor point already started, and we'll take it from there. Oh, wonderful. So let's see who we have here. We have Grace. Hello, Grace. I hope you're doing okay. Korakar, Vincent, Blue Sky, Jennifer, and Christina. It's wonderful to see you all. I hope you had a beautiful holiday, and if you didn't, I'm glad that you're here. It's totally cool. Heart, hi, welcome in. Highland Love, good to see you too. Awesome, let's do it. Let's get into the grid. So I've started us off with kind of like the heart and center of the grid that we did on Sunday night on Christmas. And I feel like a lot of these themes have been coming up for a lot of us, so why not keep it there? We've got Nephrite Jade. Jade is like good fortune and blessings on every level. It's been sacred to people from China to the indigenous people of South America. It's good fortune, wealth, prosperity, harmony, and relationships. It's everything beautiful. So we have that right here. And then we have this beautiful piece of copper. Copper helps to break up energy, get the energy flowing, breaks up blockages. We also have citrine, which helps with material abundance and the flow of prosperity. We have peridot, a stone of friendship and of breaking up cycles. So if you're changing and breaking up cycles and trying to do some self-improvement work, this helps you to make new friends and deepen the friendships that kind of help support the good habits and the positive change within you. So it's a really powerful stone in that way. We have smoky quartz, which is very protective. It helps the energy to flow as well. And it transmutes energy. It doesn't just repel it, it actually shifts and changes it. So it's very, very protective. And yeah, that's what we have to start off with. So let's go ahead, take a peek at all of our requests and start building. Oh, good stuff. Gotcha. Lots of love to you, Grace. So much love to you, Grace. We've got, let's do some Aqua Aura. Aqua Aura has been helping a lot of us that struggle with depression, me, and seasonal affective disorder and things like that. It's a stone that you won't find a lot of information about because it's a man-processed stone. It's actually clear quartz that's been processed with gold, giving it this blue hue. Some folks do write about it helping with like mental health and kind of keeping your spirits up. We've experienced that. A lot of us have had like anecdotal good responses to that here. And of course, for everything that happens here, but especially for mental health, do all the things that work for you. I take antidepressants, I use the crystals, I do the Reiki, I do all the things. I use everything at my disposal, and no shame here. We love you for whatever you do to help yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. So we're going to bring this in with an abundance of love for everyone that it impacts. We're going to see heart healing and happiness. Absolutely. There's so many good heart healing stones. Let's go with some Bloodstone today. This is also a really good stone for around the holidays. Like, the holidays are hard. Like, I get it. I am estranged from family. Like, I get it. The holidays are hard. If there's anything that's going on with you, it definitely, like, kind of puts a little pressure on those points. And this is Bloodstone, which also goes by the name heliotrope. I like to think of it as the emotional stuff hits the fan kind of stone. It lifts emotional despair, but it also gives us, in a way, like emotional stamina to keep going. It's good for those really intense moments of the heart center, and love and compassion, where we feel like it works with the heart and the root. So basically, when you feel like the rug has been pulled out under you and you're just like lost at loose ends, this is a perfect stone. It works with opening up your heart and receiving love, as well as feeling a little bit more connected to the world and reality in general. It also can help with self-doubt, as well as, actually, let's turn it this way this time. It helps with self-doubt as well as quieting the mind during meditation. So if you find that your mind is racing, even in the day, even if you're not meditating or something, if you find that your mind is racing, this can be a great stone as well. So that's Bloodstone. And we'll bring in some Rhodonite. Rhodonite helps with allergies, autoimmune stuff, and lungs. And I know a lot of people have colds, flu, COVID right now. This is also a great stone of unrequited love, of love lost, of breakups. This is like the stone, but also just in general healing the heart chakra so that you can open up to love again. And if you see a little tail, this is this is Gertie here. Hey baby, how you doing? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're joining us for some Reiki. That sounds good. Cool. So Grace, you got some kitty love from Gertie. You always know the right time to pop up. Yes, you do. Let's see. And I'm glad that you're here, Grace. I've found that, Christina, that's a good question. Have I looked into herbal approaches for depression? I've tried a few and I found them to be not helpful, unfortunately. Although there is one that helps me a little bit with anxiety, and it's a member of the mint family. It's called Damiana. So I would say with herbs, Damiana works with the muscles. It also relaxes the muscles in the body, so avoid if you're pregnant or have any other issues there. And if you can't eat anything from the mint family, definitely avoid it. But check in with, somebody that would know more about herbs than me, frankly. Like, I was recommended it from an herbalist. That helps me a little bit with anxiety, and that's been helpful. But, a lot of times I can go for that and Reiki and avoid needing, rescue stuff. But sometimes I need the rescue stuff too. Ashwagandha has been helpful, but peppermint I avoid because I have trouble absorbing nutrients, and peppermint blocks nutrients. So yeah. But yeah, for me, I've needed the antidepressants. I'm so grateful that they exist. I've been on them and off of them different times in my life, and I use them when I need them. Whatever gets it done, right? And I do use ashwagandha too. Ashwagandha is good for protein. Yeah, there are really excellent herbalists out there who really know what the different things can do and help. And if you work with one, they can be pretty life-changing. Chrysoprase, peridot, flower agate. Okay, cool. So we've got Korakar. Chrysoprase, peridot, flower agate, opal. So we've got peridot. Chrysoprase is a fantastic... Chrysoprase is a fantastic stone for overcoming disappointment, or to keep going after you've been kind of experienced a setback, or if you feel really burned out. It's a stone that helps you to see the progress you've made so far, take pride in it, fill your heart with joy, and continue on. It's also a put one foot in front of the other kind of stone. So if you feel like you're working towards the end of the goal but you haven't finished the beginning steps, this is one that can help you reorient that. So let's see, we'll put that here and here. And pardon my cat trying to play with my necklace. This is their playful time of the day. Let's see. We've also got flower agate, opal, moss agate. Flower agate helps us bloom and blossom into the next version of ourselves. It's a really positive stone of moving forward, of starting to take the steps in our right direction, and feeling a little bit more self-confidence as we start to bloom. So we'll put that here for now. Moss agate can be a deeply spiritual stone, but I also love it for anything having to do with any kind of infection in the body, bacterial, fungal, in Chinese medicine and things like it. Hey, that's enough. In Chinese medicine, they see anything as like an intruder, being like something that proliferates throughout the body. So an intruder can be fungal, can be viral, can be anything like that. This is something that helps kind of spread throughout the body in much the same way, but to kind of help root it out. Hey, stop it. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to sprinkle a couple in the middle here too. For garnet, we have that it gives us the organization, the strength, the stamina, and the courage to start acting on our goals and take initial steps, or to like keep it going to the next level. It's a very, what's a good way to say it? Executive function, excuse me. Executive function kind of stone. So planning, we're going to get this done. It's a motivator too. Very Capricorn stone, and we are in Capricorn season. So this is absolutely wonderful. Stop it, baby. And we've got moonstone. Opal is incredible for anything having to do with shamanic work, any kind of spiritual work that we're doing where we'd rather not rise to the, we don't want to be in front of other people. We want to do our spiritual work and be quiet about it. We don't want to elicit any negativity. So this is one that can help us with that. Also with going on either side of the veil. So if you're working with, say, ancestor work or anything like that, this can be really helpful. It's been sacred to shamans in numerous cultures. So we're going to bring that in. Moonstone helps with the lunar cycles and anything having to do with, in a larger way, anything having to do with the cycles of nature. So divine timing, trusting divine timing. Also anything having to do with women and the divine feminine, as well as connection to old wisdom and even lost wisdom. Helps to attract a love partner and is... Ow! Okay, that's enough. Ouchie. Say hi. You wanted attention? There you go. There you go. You got attention now. And moonstone also helps with protection of those who are traveling. And I've seen those pictures on the news, like all of you have, of just football fields full of luggage. And I I feel so bad for people who are stuck here, there, and everywhere. So Moonstone can be very protective of those traveling, because even though this winter storm seems not as bad for those of us in Philadelphia, it's still impacting a lot of people really terribly. So we'll put that out there too. We also have white and red coral. Let's see. Yeah, white and red coral. Red coral helps with anytime a woman is experiencing misogyny, is being more or less silenced or pushed aside or stepped over by kind of that glass ceiling mentality. This is a stone that will help to lift her voice and help to dispel that old boys club and bullying her out. So this can be protective of everything from toxic work environments to even sometimes family structures can have a lot of misogyny baked in, but this really protects women from the very institutionalized sexism that we see, especially in workplaces, but not limited to workplaces by any means. White coral can be very, very helpful for keeping you on your soul's path. So when we feel like we get distracted or someone says, you sure you want to do that? We tend to overly listen to them and abandon our path because somebody else had different feedback. Feedback is good, listening to it is good, but that doesn't mean that it always is 100% true. So this is one that keeps you on your path and kind of keeps the wind at your back and keeps you feeling that connection and that trust in your own intuition and your own gut. So there we go. And yeah, I know it's to the discussion about like herbs or, pharmaceuticals. There's just a certain amount of things where what we had in the remedy chest 100 years ago isn't helping, or maybe wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't helping people back then to some extent too. I'm all about using what listening to your heart and knowing what's right for you. And if that means taking medications, then you do your thing. Like, I've found immense help in some. And by far, is it infallible? Nothing's infallible. Nothing will ever be infallible. But I'm really grateful for the meds I've been able to take. Super, super grateful. And yeah, Jen, I'm with you. It's sometimes you just have to, not so much have to, but sometimes you have to be grateful for what's there and what we can use. And I'm glad that you're using what works for you. I am too. I think I like the phrase, trusting each other to know what's best for each other. It's good to know about options, but sometimes we need other options too. Let's see. Greg, Susan, wealth, materialization, understanding, wealth. Understanding wealth, absolutely. We have a great stone for that. We have Return of Cat and Zest for Life. And I think I saw a request for Bumblebee Jasper. So I'm going to bring this in for the Zest for Life. We usually use yellow calcite, and I may still put that in. This is a powerful stone of finding a ton of energy to kind of be at your back and celebrate you and say, hey, this is me. I'm stepping forward into life and I'm running into it full speed. It's incredibly energizing and uplifting, but it also helps you to follow what's important to you. It very much resonates with the solar plexus, which is the center of willpower, and self-identity. So this can bring a lot of happiness and a lot of palpable energy to that. Definitely not for direct water infusions because it is high in arsenic. I don't suggest using direct water infusions anyway, but if you're going to, not that one. Not that one, please. Jet is excellent for grief. It helps to allow us to be within the grief while also not being overwhelmed by it and not being numb to it. Like at a certain point, we just get numb. It's also fantastic for calling back lost pets. So we're going to put that in here. Let's put that here for now. Yeah, let's put that here for now. Understanding wealth is definitely going to be Angelite money management. And we almost always use Angelite because it does so many different things. We've got a lot of folks with intentions around losing weight and getting to a healthy weight for them, as well as the request that Korakar had for work with Psychopomp. Psychopomp is visionary journeying, like a visionary meditation or spiritual connection to our guides where we actually see. And Angelite can help us to connect in that way. It also helps with, it's thought to help with fever too, and also with helping with sleep. So this is definitely for Jennifer. So it helps a lot of us with a lot of things, and that's why it's pretty common to see it here. Okay, cool. We've got your mom with prosperity. We've got the citrine, but let's use some pyrite. Pyrite helps to get the flow of energy going. It's very protective. It's also helpful for the brain and memory, as well as fever and lungs, but it helps a lot with attracting financial abundance. The old expression is fool's gold brings the real gold. So we'll bring this in. Let's see. Let's try here. Cool. So we've got the pyrite, and what else do we have? Greg and Susan, health and materialization. Let's bring in Herkimer. This is another one we've been using almost every stream for a while now, because sometimes we're working with a theme over a period of time, and we all do kind of overlap in our intentions, don't we? So this helps with manifestation, with making it more spiritual. So this is the stone that if you're saying, okay, universe, this is what I need or what I want, this is a stone that helps you connect with that in a way of how do I do this in a way that complements and supports everyone and everything that it touches. So this is more of a community-minded manifestation stone. It also harmonizes energy that feels really discordant. It can help with metabolism, intuitive ability, and being in the present moment. So we'll bring that in. So I hope that helps Greg and Susan with everything that they're requesting. They've been working on those for a while. So we'll bring these in. We have, I think that's good. And your stepfather's colon cancer. So I hope everything's going as well as can be with that too. This is a stone that was long, or is still associated with cancer care, but has long been. It's energizing. It helps to bring up a lot of physical energy. So whether you're run down or trying to get your energy back up, it can be very helpful. But the rootles are thought to, one, focus, help with focus and clarity, especially in the mind-body connection, but also to direct the healing exactly where it needs to go. So while you're undergoing your treatments, this is like an intention setting that those medications and anything that you're doing will help to direct it exactly at the places that need to be targeted and not so much the collateral damage on the rest of your body. So I hope that this is helpful. Certainly lots of love to you and your family as you go through this. There we go. And yeah, happy holidays, y'all. Good to see you all. Cool. Let's see. Trying to see what stones I can get that touch on a few different requests. To trust in life. I love that. Good communication, safety, and intuition. good communication, safety, and intuition. I'm going to go with Blue Tiger Eye for that. This is great for stress and bringing some calm and some ease to difficult situations too. But it's one that it's great for writing, any kind of communication, writing, speaking, expressing, but especially expressing the truth, expressing things that other folks might not want to hear. So definitely a good one around the holidays. This is a good facts over feelings kind of stone, and protects truth tellers. It's a good whistleblower stone. So it's very protective, and it helps to articulate the truth, bring it through the throat chakra. A little off balance there. There we go. So that's Blue Tiger Eye. And we've also got let's go ahead with To Trust. Oh, there's a kitty rolling around on the floor. Pre-night feels right. Hey. Pre-night it facilitates spiritual teaching and spiritual understanding. So whether you're teaching a spiritual truth or learning it, even if you're learning it on your own, not so much like in a structured class, it can be super helpful. It also helps to stop your mind from wandering, especially in meditations. It's another stone that's great for that, as well as refusing unfair demands. It also helps us in like lucid dreaming, prophecy, and just checking in with our intuition so that we can learn about our intuition, what it's telling us, learning about different cycles and our spiritual connection. So that can help us to, in one direction, start to trust. It deepens our connection to spirit and our understanding of it, which involves our own divine understanding. Let's see. And another one for trust. I'm going to put two out there because I know one is probably going to come up as a request anyway. It's Lapis. This can help also with pain and inflammation for anyone that's experiencing that. But when we have this, it's good for advancing career. It's good for things like vertigo and imbalances. It's also fantastic for honesty, openness, truthfulness, integrity. So building those qualities within ourselves, also working with people who have that same kind of trustworthiness and integrity about them. So this can help with trust. And the next one after that, actually, let's put these here. And the next one after that I wanted to bring in is honey calcite. That helps attract people in a very joyous sense that are going to be helpful, trustworthy, the optimal people to work with and connect with. It helps with optimism in challenging times, so optimism can certainly help trust. It helps with attracting good colleagues, good friendships, good love interests, and it's also connected with supporting postmenopausal women, so just putting that out there for anyone who might need that. But yeah, this helps with relationship between ourself and who we are and how we connect with community around us, the sacral chakra. So it's like the who am I, who are you, where do I stop and you begin. This can help with negotiating sort of like an optimism around that, but also a sense of trust in boundaries and trust in attracting people that are worthy of trust. So we'll bring this in too. Let's do this. Honey calcite is one that we use often here, and with good reason. It's fantastic, especially in times of change. This can really help lift the spirits. I hope that that helps. Tension, headache, and neck and muscle tightness. Absolutely. Absolutely. So blue lace agate can be really helpful for sore throat, allergies, that kind of stuff. So whether it's cold or allergies, anything that's impacting like the throat area, but also expressing difficult emotions and tension, headache, like the stress and relieving the tension it causes within the body, particularly around headaches. This also is thought to help with arthritis and fractures to a point. So yeah, anything with throat. Also saying anything, sharing anything, or saying anything that involves a lot of sensitivity, whether it's sensitive for you to talk about it or it's something that someone else is going to be sensitive to hearing about, it can be very helpful for that. And I'm going to put a few in here. So that's blue lace agate and I may add something else a little bit later too. We'll see. Okay, good stuff. So I hope that that helps. And for helping with the energy of expectations of others, honey calcite, the sense of our will and our role with others, can help kind of mitigate that to some extent. Carnelian feels like a good bet here. So this is relationships, everything from, it's another one that can help with a lot of boundaries around like how do we interrelate to each other. So when we're talking about expectations, it's sort of like what do we expect from other people? Are they meeting that? What do we expect from people? Is our expectation realistic? All of those places in between, this can really help. This helps groups to get along much better. So this is one that I know a lot of folks talk about how it's good for romantic relationships, and it is. It's great for that. It's great for fertility, but it's good for interrelations in any kind of group setting. So work, family, anything like that. This helps with healing wounds physically and emotionally, as well as even apathy and laziness, like when you feel like, I just kind of can't. Like I know in a lot of us who might be struggling with the depressive side of things, that might be a thing. This can be helpful. But also connection to divine relationships. So this can help with that. So how we get along with each other in all the ways that that shows up. because relationship dynamics are so complicated. This is a good one for like that complicatedness between different folks. And I feel like that's it for that one, but I will have other stones for you too. Oh, thank you, Highland Love. Protecting your heart and creating romantic boundaries. Veronica, absolutely. It's good to see you. So, more boundary stuff. I'm going to do some reading today too, because I feel like we're getting into some new types of requests, and I'm like, let me see some other takes on some crystals. So chevron, amethyst, tiger's eye. Galena, cinnabar. Cinnabar I'm going to put in by request, but also for Susan and for Jennifer and for me. Anybody who is in any kind of retail place or selling anything, cinnabar helps to attract customers. It's long been thought of as the merchant stone. And the only real cinnabar in the specimen are those little spots of red. It's mercury ore, so very toxic. So be very careful with this. Little goes a long way. But yeah, this is thought to attract quite a bit of success to any kind of merchant, anyone selling anything, business in general. Tiger eye helps with focus and protection. So I feel like this is really helpful for Vincent as well, tiger eye. So yeah, golden tiger eye. This one can help with discerning boundaries, like the finer points of that too, but also with studying and learning about new things. Tiger eye can help us to see patterns within it. It can help us to, this can also really help with sleep patterns to a point as well. And if we're examining boundaries, this can kind of help us get a bird's eye view of relationship dynamics. Like it, I like to think of tiger's eye almost as bird-like. Like we pull back and we see the scenario from like above, and we can see all the moving parts a little bit better. So whether you're using that in business and in planning, something alongside like a garnet for that, or in relationships and seeing like, it feels like I keep butting up against this person. Let me take a wider look. This would be really helpful. And that's actually why I'm putting it next to carnelian. Yeah, very protective as well, very perceptive. We have chevron amethyst helps with, this will definitely help with psychopomp work for Korakar, as well as it's thought to help any kind of degenerative diseases too, but it's excellent for getting intuitive visions and answers to the questions we ask spirit. Also, if we're manifesting, it says, here, universe, this is what I would like, this is what I need. And it opens up that dialogue to go in both directions so that the universe can say, like, it's to your left, it's right in front of you, or are you sure you don't want to manifest something a little bit bigger? This will help us open up to hear the other side. So it's like, universe, I want this, and the universe responding, so that you can kind of hone the most perfect balance of what you're asking for. So we're going to put that in. It's a great stone for spiritual connection. Let's do, if you're doing mediumship work too, this can be a great stone. Yeah, there we go. And Galena. Galena is one of the stones. I use it for calming, which is you wouldn't think so, because lead, when we ingest it, has the opposite. So this is one of those things where sometimes used one way has one purpose, sometimes used another way has the opposite. Lead poisoning has definitely, and high lead levels have been linked to like angry, aggressive actions and a lot of violence. And when used metaphysically, it's linked with a lot of calm. So Galena is actually a high amount of lead. So this is pure Galena here. And this is a specimen that we've worked with here before. This is barite, cerussite, and Galena all together. And we use that for calming quite a bit. Barite is that pinkish color and whitish color. That's the white lead that was in lead paint. Cerussite is those crystals in there. They can be deeply clarifying and allowing us to deeply relax, as well as Galena. That's how I use them. If you use them differently, let me know. There's not a ton written on them because, I mean, a lot of folks don't want to work with, you know, a lead. But yeah, this is one that you don't clean in water. This is very heavy because it is basically lead, but it's a type of lead. So I put this in here. It's definitely no direct water infusions. Philadelphia, we definitely have enough lead in our water as it is. Our pipes are old. So yeah, so we'll put that there. So that is Galena. And hey, Key and Patty, good to see you. Oh, we've got some good requests today. You know, Jennifer, I've been finding that I metabolize anesthetic differently. I don't so much use it faster. My body largely, like, we have to wait longer for it to work, kind of thing. And as much as I try to tell folks that, yeah, it definitely became an issue the day I got my lumbar puncture. Yeah, it wasn't fun. Yeah, not fun. Howlite. Oh, we got honey calcite. So let's bring you some howlite. Wealth and cholesterol, definitely. Cholesterol and howlite. So howlite helps with anger and resentment and with frustration to a point. It's a stone that helps us to use that really volatile energy in a thoughtful way to create the change we need to create, rather than being volatile and putting our foot in our mouth and acting out of turn. It's also really helpful for teeth, bones, and hair. It's thought to help osteoporosis and absorption of things like calcium. That's me. Also good with, like I said, the bones and the hair, so joints, as well as learning new things and stability in times of emotional imbalance. And it can be really helpful for all of those. So we'll bring some howlite. This is one of my more favorite underrated stones. I think it's criminally underrated in crystal healing. It does so many great things. And it's so affordable and easily, readily available. For cholesterol, one of the things that tourmalinated quartz is thought to help is blockages in the cardiac area. And again, of course, like, this is the energy that can help as a complement to everything else. This also helps to ground and release nervous energy. So this could be good for heart to kind of like move that energy out. But the heart, blood vessels, valves, if there's any blockages, it's thought to help break that up, because it's thought to help break up scar tissue too. So whether it's physical scar tissue on the body or in the body, like after surgery, after an accident, or emotionally. So when we have a hard time moving on past something, there's definitely some emotional scar tissue. This can help break that up a little bit. It's also helpful for fortune and luck, as well as protective in travel. So again, really helpful. A lot of folks keep this in their car because it's thought to help prevent car accidents. So can't hurt, might help, right? And again, we're with everybody who's traveling in this very difficult year of travel. So we've got that there. So I hope that that helps. Wealth, we have a couple of good ones there helping. And absolutely, if you fall back asleep, I'm honored that you got the sleep you needed. Let's see. Sister Nona, friend John. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll get into that. Korakar uses Galena for overcoming trauma, healthier relationships, boundaries, love, releasing toxic relationships. So that sounds right up the alley of Veronica and what you had requested. See how our requests end up overlapping each other and like helping each other? That's, yeah. What was the last one that was to protect in the car? It was tourmalinated quartz. Absolutely. Thank you, Blue Sky. Yeah, tourmalinated quartz is really thought to be helpful for that. And so many things. But yeah, Galena, trauma, healthier relationships, boundaries, love, releasing toxic relationships. I've not used it for that. That's amazing. Thank you. I will read up more on that. Okay, so smoking cessation, Unikite, we have Peridot, we have Iolite, we have Rutilated, we have Herkimer, we have Aqua Aura, Blue Kyanite, Sapphire, Aragonite with Caribbean Calcite. Unikite is helpful for anything having to do with women's health, especially around fertility and changes in hormones, so onset of menses, onset of menopause, as well as health in like marriages and good relationships, so another good one there. This is also helpful for addictions, but very specifically, most people think of it as like the go-to stone for quitting smoking. It's one that can just be, in general, also for heart and circulation, so good for those of you who are bringing those intentions. But it's one that I use a lot of times for like women's health in general. So let's bring this in. We've got Blue Kyanite, which can help to bring up our understanding of the intuitive messages that we get. Because it can be so frustrating when we get intuitive messages and it's like, but what does it mean? This is a stone that can help you understand what's coming through. It's also helpful for folks who've had a brain injury or a stroke. It's thought to be particularly helpful for folks with issues related to mobility and speech, as well as loving yourself exactly as you are. This kind of, I usually call it radical self-acceptance, especially good anytime that you've been just judged negatively and harshly for who you just are. This can be a great stone for that. And around the holidays, a lot of that stuff comes out in families. So let's place this. Go. Sapphire is a powerful stone of intuition, mediumship, and also, excuse me, also connecting with spiritual messages and in a way translating them so that they can be understood by the person you're getting the messages for. So if you are reading cards for someone, mediuming for someone, if you get a lot of messages during your energy healing sessions, but you struggle with explaining them, this can be a really helpful stone. It can be pretty ungrounding, so either look into some grounding practices and get a hang on that first, or use some very grounding stones when you use it, like red jasper and the darker stones, especially something like black onyx, which is protective. It helps with connection to that wisdom, and it's grounding as well. So let's see. Put that with the kyanite there. Blue sapphire, so pretty. For aragonite with Caribbean blue calcite, this helps to balance the uppermost chakras, the crown and the soul star, as well as the earth-based chakras, which are like the root and the earth star. This helps to open up the opposite ends of the energy field, which allows the everything in between to flow a little bit better, particularly the Kundalini energy, which lays dormant at the spine. So we're going to bring this in. Okay. It also helps taking intuitive awareness and making it actionable. So if you're like, yeah, I keep getting all this intuition, but like, what do I do to make that happen? If there feels like there's a disconnect there, or like I feel like I'm doing, but I'm not hearing the intuitive guidance, either side of that, this is a great stone to help. It's two different types of calcite together that really balance together. And there's a lot of it being mined right now. So you can find a lot of it. Let's see. Hematite, ametrine. I just want to make sure I get as many people as possible. But yeah, hematite would be helpful. Bumblebee, Jasper we got. Blue Sky requested blue kyanite, tourmalinated quartz, and garnet, which we got. Looks like we got everybody. And with Jennifer, Jennifer's probably sleeping. I hope you are, dear. But for the rest of us, I feel like when it's circadian rhythms or things like that, because I struggle with that too. I've had sleep studies and stuff done where the sleep specialist is like, yep, I can see what's there. Actually, PTSD shows up in a sleep study. It is a brain injury, very legitimately so. And it's a break in that cycle. And so to connect with, like, I definitely needed help beyond what I could do holistically, but the holistic certainly helped a lot. And Moonstone can help with, like I've often said, the connection to the rhythms and patterns of nature. Our circadian rhythm is one of those. So if you struggle with that, if you feel like you get thrown off of your sleep cycle and then it's difficult to get back on it, things like jet lag, that can be a really helpful stone for that. I've found it helpful. And other stones for sleeping well, labradorite. This also helps calm disputes and workplace disharmony as well as family disharmony. Find detailed, focused kind of information. So if you're looking for the needle in the haystack, if you're a coder, a data analyst, something like that, this can be helpful. Also brings up like clairvoyance and finding joy in travel, which sounds like a joke given the past week for holiday travel and the huge storm, but this does allow for some joy. And, you know, if you're going to be somewhere, if you're going to be stuck somewhere, I hope that there's some joy that can be found in it. So let's bring this in, and then we will go ahead into getting ready for the healing. So we will make some room for this. I'm going to put this here and here. Yeah. You're kind of down, but you don't know why. I'm sorry. Absolutely, joy and happiness. Yeah, we are all connected, Veronica. That is labradorite. That was labradorite, Chris. For kind of bringing up, we've got the aqua aura, but I'm also going to bring in the yellow calcite. Because why not? This has been really helping us a lot. This helps with finding the joy in who we are and stepping forward in our joy. So if you're having trouble too with like what things on my to-do list are outmoded obligations and what is like me wanting to move forward and following my bliss, this is a great stone of that, but it also helps us find the joys in things. Yeah, you're so welcome. Awesome. We've got those there. So let's actually do this here. And feel like Angelite wants to be here. And then we'll get into the healing. So Angelite is, as the name would suggest, connected with the angelic realm and helps us to be connected with the angelic realm. Angels, in a very secular way, because angels, from all my experiences with them, it's almost like they don't care how you understand spirituality, God, however you define that. It's more like we're here to help you make the most of your journey through this life, and we're here to help you find the best way to connect to your spiritual path and support you in that, and do any healing for things that are in the way of that. And that's a lot of what's involved in integrated energy therapy, or IET, which is a technique that I work with that is different from Reiki, but very complementary to it. This can help us connect to our angels just to feel their presence around us and know that we're not alone. It can help us to connect with them, to medium or divine, or get messages from them. It can also help us to connect with them in any way that we're requesting their help. Like if you work with, say, Archangel Michael for protection, this can be a stone that comes in for you. Or Raphael for healing, or to help you in your healing work. This is a stone that can connect you. So any way that you want to connect with your angels, this can be helpful. So that can go right here, this raw piece there. We'll put this one here and here. Awesome. So let's go ahead. I'm going to quickly explain what Reiki is. And while I'm doing that, go ahead and use the chat to pour in everything that you're grateful for, that you're, willing to mention in such a public forum. And as you do that, I'm just going to quickly explain what Reiki is to anybody who's new to the concept. And then after that, I will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and send the healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. While you are adding your gratitudes, go ahead, and you can also do it silently. It helps just as much. But you can also, if you wouldn't mind clicking the like button, that helps the stream to go to as many people as possible. We are growing. I'm so proud. I'm so happy that we're getting to be a bigger channel all the time. And once we hit 1,000 subscribers, there's a lot more I can do to help make this community more vibrant. There's more tools that open up to me in YouTube land. So thank you so much for being here. That's the most important thing. And I will just give that explanation and we will be right back. So as I mentioned at the top of the stream, my name is Danielle Stimpson. I'm the owner of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I've been teaching Usui Reiki for about 14 years. If you want to learn more about my online live Reiki certification trainings, you can learn about those in the description below. You can also check out my one-on-one sessions and readings in the links below, as well as information about my social media, Discord, and Crystal Shop. So Usui Reiki is one style of working with this energy, and it was created and named for its founder, Mikao Usui, in the early 1920s in Japan, and he called it Usui Shiki Ryoho, or Usui's method of natural healing. And this particular method, let's start with what the energy is. At its foundation, at its core, the energy of Reiki and how it interconnects all of us is very close to what would be seen in Shintoism, in which everything has a soul and everything is interconnected. Shintoism is the indigenous faith and spirituality of Japan. So as we are all interconnected but yet individual beings, there's also other forces at play in that interconnectedness that don't belong to any one person, but really flow and help us in many different ways. One of those is a spiritually guided soul energy or life energy that helps us to find the best balance physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And our body, mind, and spirit are working with this energy all the time, whether we're aware of it or not. Much like how water is necessary for so many functions, and yet we don't have any conscious control over how our body even uses it. It's just sort of known. Similar with Reiki. It's flowing through us. It's already there. Even if our culture doesn't acknowledge it or realize it, it's certainly there. When I do Usui's method, or Usui Shiki Ryoho or Usui Reiki. Essentially what I'm doing is connecting with this energy force that everyone has access to and directing more of it to you so your body, mind, and spirit can use it to your best, highest good. And you setting any intentions can certainly help that as well. So any intention is a fine intention. You can even think of it to yourself, take a deep breath, and just let go and relax into your session at any point during the session. You can notice during the session how you feel, whether you feel things on your physical body, if your emotions begin to shift or come up mentally with, you may hear your subconscious or be able to mentally parse some things out that have been kind of heavy on your mind, or you may get some spiritual guidance like intuitions. You may also just have a really great nap. Whatever happens, it's meant to be. It's the perfect session for you. You'll probably feel some amount of all of those things at different times. But at the end of the session, which is 25 minutes where I'll send the Reiki to you, at the end, you can feel free to jump back into the chat. You'll hear my voice come in. I'll invite you to take a deep breath. I'll reopen the chat. And at that point, you can ask any questions that you have or share any experiences that you feel you want to share. And if you are watching this in the future, know that that interconnectedness works whether we are miles away, miles, kilometers, whatever your unit of measure, or if you are in the future. So hello from the past. This healing is open and available to you regardless of when you are. So just simply be open to receiving it and it will absolutely come to you. As far as what to do during the session, you don't have to do anything. Just get yourself as physically comfortable as you can and adjust that as needed. And just take a deep breath. You don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep your mind quiet. Reiki will be with you wherever you find yourself to be in this moment. And if you find yourself feeling sleepy, take that nap. That can be super healing sometimes. So, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that during the stream, I will turn the music up. If you'd like the music, go ahead and look at the bottom of the description and you will see all the information about the musical creator and her channel. I will also turn the lights down and you'll notice that they move slowly and evenly through several different colors. Know that at no point will they flash or strobe. So thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a blessing, and let's go ahead back into the healing. Awesome. Cool. I love it. Preemptive cat connection is going out. I think it might just be connections going. If anyone's having connective issues, I apologize. I'm not seeing it on my end, but that doesn't mean it's not happening on YouTube's end. And thank you for your thankfulness. So everybody, go ahead, get comfy. Thank you. You all built the grid, so I just helped. So you all get cozy, get comfortable. I am going to send for the next 25 minutes. Remember that if at any point you want to get some healing and I'm not live, you can just watch the replays of previous sessions. Go to the past live stream and the past live stream playlist, and you can enjoy all the way through. So thanks again for being here. Enjoy your session, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly come back. You can take your time and move your fingers and toes. Thank you so much for being here. I'm being photobombed by Hattie, the cat. Thank you, Heart. I'm so glad you're here. And yes, thank you all of you for making this grid what it is. You're so welcome, Key and Patty. Thank you so much. I seriously love doing this. Love so much about it. Lots of bright green. Yeah, lots of heart healing. I'm not surprised. There was some elements that came through that were very related to mental emotional healing. So that makes a lot of sense. You're so welcome, Chris. I don't know about you, but I feel so much better and more grounded. So I will be back here tomorrow, Wednesday, 4 p.m. East Coast US time. And definitely remember, once we hit 1,000 members, there's a lot more I can do with the channel. So spread the word if you don't mind. I know a lot of you already are, and I deeply appreciate it. I'm doing all I can too, but thank you all for your support. It means so much. Yes, you can, Heart. Healing to you too. Thank you, Highland Love. And yes, Heart, absolutely. So everyone have a beautiful day. I will be back here tomorrow, 4 p.m. and I'll see you then. So take care and bye for now.